Now, this is a story Peter has been following on this program for some time. The imposition of massive renewable energy projects on communities in rural Victoria. Well, concerned locals are gathering in Western Victoria tonight to demand greater transparency over the controversial Western Renewables link. The proposed 190-kilometre overhead transmission line will move renewable power from Bulgana in Western Victoria to Sydenham in Melbourne's northwest, and it's feared the planned transmission towers will destroy farms and homes, and locals say it's been a struggle to have their concerns heard by the government. Joining me now to discuss this is Victorian farmer Emma Muir. Thanks for joining me, Emma. What's the plan with the meeting tonight? What are you hoping to achieve?
Thanks for having me, Caleb, and I'm here with Bev MacArthur from Western region of Victoria. Tonight we're hoping to hear from the local politicians, both at a state and federal level, as well as the CFA, and have a really good information night for community who've been just so badly treated over the last 4.5, nearly 5 years.
How do you expect this project would impact your community?
Well, there's a couple of really big things that we'll be struggling with. Is the environment. It will be just desecrated in the areas that they're proposing to put the power lines. We've got huge impact on agriculture. We've got the spud farmers in our region, and our everyday farming will have to change or stop, as well as fire safety. We've just got an enormous amount, 62 kilometres of bush fronts onto these transmission lines, and so far to date we've had no explanation on how we'll be safe from any impact of these power lines. We're not saying that the power lines will start the fires, but they're going to inhibit the CFA's ability to fight the fires in our region.
Well, this is the absurdity of these projects so often, isn't it? Because, I was talking last night on air about a story out of Brazil where the COP30 conference is going this year, and they're trying to work out how they get all these delegates to come into the meeting. Well, they're going to rip out large swathes of the Amazonian rainforest so they can put down a 4-lane highway. So you destroy the environment in order to have a climate change conference where you talk about how you save the environment. And it seems to be much the same in this circumstance. You say, well, we must save the environment with renewable power because burning coal is bad for the environment. So we'll just tear through all this land and bugger everyone who lives on it and is using it for profit and delivering food to the country. Who needs that? Because we're saving the environment by destroying the environment.
That's exactly, you're spot on. It's exactly what we're facing here. We personally have planted 10,000 trees. We have a biolink corridor through our property, and we just feel like, why? Why do we do it when you're going to come and put concrete on it, rip it up, put tracks in it, and just change all of the flora and fauna that we've worked so hard to rehabilitate in our communities and just wreck it? It just astounds me. I just can't understand how anybody could come to our properties and think this was a good idea.
And of course, we're talking about prime farming land here, right? Now, I would have thought that food farmed in Australia and transported within Australia will generally have a lower carbon footprint than food that you import from overseas, because it has to do less movement, it goes on less planes, less ships, etc, etc. So you take away the land that people are farming on to save the environment. Again, it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. I'm not really sure. Food production doesn't seem to be an issue here. No one seems to even ask about food security. And one of our early arguments, because we've been fighting this for nearly 5 years, was that during COVID, didn't we learn that we should need to produce everything ourselves? Well, why would we even jeopardise our beautiful farmland, our agricultural land here in Victoria, to put transmission lines on that really are superseded? And there are better alternatives, and the government knows that. They know there's better ways of doing this and cheaper ways to do this. I think that we're just the meat in the sandwich and going to suffer regardless, and being bulldozed completely by all levels of the Labor government.